What's up, y'all? Allie here, Richard here. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to go hit that subscribe button to stay tapped in with Road Trippin all season long. New episodes, they drop Tuesdays and Thursdays. You don't want to miss what we have in store. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, tell a friend to tell a friend. Road Trippin is here. We're taking over.
No, stop blaming us for what Perk says.
I don't know about you guys, but waking up and seeing Chris Paul's Instagram story of, I've been notified that I'm being sent home with a peace sign. Wow.
RJ?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for more information to come out. So I think as more information comes out, I think that will help landscape my opinion. I think this is a bit surprising, obviously, given all the people. But I'm just looking forward for more information.
In all my years, I've only seen about 2 or 3 players ever get cut or waived or told to get sent home in the middle of a road trip. Now, 2 or 3 of those guys were on probation, for bad behavior, and one missed the bus. Another one just decided to leave, and another one, got in trouble with some other stuff. But I don't know what Chris Paul deserved to do for that, because teams just don't do that. So that's my thing. Teams just don't waive a guy or tell him to go home. You got to be doing something enough for them to be like, all right, man, we're just not. Your weight and value is not worth your hassle. So that's just my understanding. That could be Chris Paul. That could be, Cliff Paul. That could be, Paul Fleming. I don't care who it is.
Devin.
But teams just don't do that.
I agree with Shanny. I thought it was just shocking, the fact that a player of his stature, what he's meant to that franchise, regardless of the ins and outs, holding accountable, getting in tiffs, the fact that you send him home in the middle of the night on a road trip, I felt like was just disrespectful. They could have handled that part better. With Rich, I don't know what transpired. I don't know, what feathers were ruffled and
what
feathers were ruffled.
Pebbles.
Pebbles?
Feathers were ruffled, but
What are pebbles?
I just don't think that he's done enough turmoil to get that type of treatment in the middle of the night.
Also, Kendrick, wake up. Kawhi and James Harden both saying they were shocked by this decision. So with all of these different reports out there, what really happened?
Well, wake me up when these 3 guys stop straddling the fucking fence. You know what I'm saying? And actually say something, Allie. That's when I'll wake up.
We need you to come in. We need you to come in.
I tried to say
We need you to come in and push them over the fence.
That's why we can't let him go last. That's why we can't let him go last.
KYP.
I was waiting to see, if somebody was going to actually say something.
That's you.
Speak the truth. No,
all right, Perk. It's a bullshit, Perk.
It's not just me.
It's a bullshit, Perk.
Guess what? Richard Jefferson won a championship with T-Lue. Shannon Fry won a championship with T-Lue. So they know T-Lue very well. They know that it takes a lot to get to T-Lue. They know what type of person T-Lue is. And so when you think about, and we hear these stories about, T-Lue wasn't speaking to him, or he wouldn't take a meeting with him, or they wasn't on speaking terms for 3 weeks, it gets you to thinking, what the hell was CP3 doing? You get sent home at 3 o'clock in the morning? What the hell were you doing in that locker room? Because it wasn't just because of that event, that situation that happened. It was stuff that kept building up throughout the course of the season. He was doing stuff behind T-Lue's back, going to players, whispering, saying things, and causing turmoil when the team is already struggling and going through a lot. The last thing you need is a guy that you brought in to be an extension of the coach, to be a positive voice in the locker room, to be a negative voice in the locker room. And that's what I'm getting from it, because it's hard as hell. And people say, oh, yeah, I sit at the bench and collect vet minimum for 3 years and be a mentor. You have to applaud people like Udonis Haslem, because that's not an easy task, right? That's not an easy task, especially when things are not going well for you. So when I think about him being sent home, and I think about me knowing T-Lue, my feelings still remain the same about Lawrence Frank. Yeah. They should have been. His ass he need to be gone. Okay, he needs to be gone. My feelings don't change about him. But what I will say, I've been reading, I've been listening, and it's a lot of people that have been commenting, a lot of text messages I've been receiving that saying, "Hey, Perk, stop it now. You know CP3 ain't no saint." And these were people that actually shared a locker room with CP3. I'm going to give you an example. They're on the road. They're playing the game. They up by double digits. Okay, a team comes back. I believe it was Memphis. It might have been Dallas. Memphis or Dallas game. Coach Van Gundy calls the defensive scheme to one of the young guys and tell them, hey, we're going to do this. They break out of the timeout. Chris Paul goes to the young fella and tell him, no, you need to do this. He does what Chris Paul tells him to do, and he get his ass cooked. And those are the things that you cannot do. We all know T-Lue. We all know that it got to be a certain level for him to get to the point where he's not fucking speaking to you. Y'all probably seen T-Lue blow up one time. And that was the time where he called Braun out in the finals, and then he hit it, and Braun hit another switch, and then y'all went on here to
When?
have history, come back down 3-1 in the NBA Finals.
So you're saying he was
But
warned
again-
multiple times? He was warned multiple times?
Huh?
You're saying that they had like he had been warned multiple times about that type of stuff?
They have had meetings with CP3 multiple times. Multiple is twice, right?
Yeah.
Several
It's
times.
more than, yeah.
Okay, several times
Two
throughout
is two,
the course
yeah,
of this
several.
short season about certain things. And so, yeah, we could blame and say, yeah, he shouldn't. But just think about it. Like I had to think about it. Like, damn, they sent a future Hall of Fame, like kicked him off the team at 3:00 in the morning. Like you had to think, like, what the hell was he doing?
In a place where his jersey was about to be retired?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
It's
my next-
honestly, he
look,
might be the best Clipper ever.
How does this affect CP3 and his legacy?
It don't.
doesn't.
It
No,
don't.
You
we
just
all
can't
knew.
go anywhere else. You just gotta go home.
We all knew. No, see, we know it's like, look, playing for Bron ain't for everybody. Playing with CP ain't for everybody. Playing with Kobe ain't for everybody. Playing with these great players ain't for everybody. They all got their little idiosyncrasies that make them unique, whether it's Bron, whether it's, Melo. These guys all have their things that make them unique about their greatness. CP3, we knew he was a little general, right? We knew he was a little general. They call him the floor general. Generals aren't typically the sweetest, most nicest guys, but they get results. So for us, like we understand, we didn't know that it would go down like this and this dynamic, but Chris Paul's always been very vocal. Hence why his teams typically always got better. But you also have to understand the power of you being vocal, when to do it, who you're doing it with. Showing up to a young team that'll do everything you say in Phoenix, you're going to have tremendous results. Showing up to a veteran team, and we saw it with Rondo. That's how Rondo got sent home from the playoffs. He got sent home from the playoffs because Rick would call in one call, Rondo would be changing the call. They would be arguing about the defensive schemes because Rick had a defense, but Rondo was a part of great defenses in Boston. And he was like, this is what we did in Boston. It's like, bro, we're not in Boston. We don't have Kevin Garnett behind you. We don't have XYZ. This is where we are. This is the team. My point is that Rondo had something similar to happen to him. And that cost Rondo a ton of money. Rondo was 2 months away from probably signing a max deal. And then he gets cut and sent home. But we all knew that Rondo was a hyper intelligent person that you had to connect with, right? And they just never connect with Rick Carlisle. And so I don't think that this affects Chris Paul's legacy, because this is kind of like what we know Chris Paul to be. It's just sad that at the end of his career, he could not adjust to allow for his voice to be powerful in a different way than it had always been.
If you're the 15th guy, you got to be, like Perk said, you got to be bought all in to whatever the coach's schemes are, what they're saying, like kind of being a hoorah guy. And I just don't think Chris Paul is a hoorah guy. He's not a guy to sit and be like, Jeff Van Gundy is right or T-Lue is right. Chris Paul, from everything that I've heard from every other player who's played with him, Chris Paul needs to be the smartest guy in the room. And if he's not, he's going to argue you down. So for me, I don't know if that's necessarily the guy you would have wanted on your bench. He may have said, yeah, I'll accept that role. But obviously, as we see now, he did not accept that role. And also one thing, it's kind of crazy how many people hate Chris Paul. How many people are like, yo, I hate his guts, but he's a good player. Like so many ex-players who have played against him are like, man, fuck that dude, but he's a good player, but he shouldn't have been treated like that. But it's just like, that's what things it tickles me. It's funny.
Are you expected to be a hoorah guy when you're losing the way that you're losing, right? And
that's what we paid you to do.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what we. But to this point, the 15th guy is an extension of the coaching staff. The 13th, like there's the young guys, the 12, the 15th guy, right, is an extension of the coaching staff. Udonis Haslam's an extension of the coaching staff. Everything they say, even if he disagrees with the assignment, he's like, hey, young fella, look, it's tough, and I know it's hard, but this is what they're asking from you. This is the best way to do it. This is the way to blah, 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 versus saying, hey, young fella, I don't necessarily agree with that assignment. So in the past, this is what I used to do, and this is how I would guard it. That means that you're conflicting with it. The 15th man is an extension of the coaching staff. And if you're not being an extension of the coaching staff and conversely trying to input or disagree with players or coaching staff, you're actually far more detrimental, right? And I'm not saying that that's the case with him, but it's far more problematic. I'd rather have my 8th man bitching and complaining about rotations and stuff than my 15th man.
Devin,
that's just true.
The man is the culture guy. His job, whether they win or lose, he's a culture guy. He's there. Hey, young fella, we need to play 3-on-3. Who needs to get in shape? Hey, I'll run with you. Who needs to get more shots up? Like, this is how we're supposed to do things to get to winning. The 15th player don't give a fuck if they're winning or losing. Their job is to do things consistently to help push the culture of the team. And if you're not doing that, we got to get somebody else.
And average 1,500 claps. And the thing is, and here's the thing. Before the season, T-Lue, before CP3 signed with the Clippers, T-Lue sat down with CP3 and told him his role was going to be the third point guard on the roster. Basically, you're not going to see a lot of minutes. I need you to be that vet. I need you to be that voice. I need you to be an extension of me, hold these guys accountable. Because the teams that are actually legit title contenders, they hold themselves accountable in the locker room more than the coaches hold them accountable, right? And so he told CP3, bro, I don't want to lose any more friends. That in itself tell you, like, I don't want to have to bump heads with you over this, bro. It's going to be tough. It's something that you're not used to. I don't want to lose any more friends. And so, again, I shortened my career, and I'm not even on the same level as CP3, but I couldn't accept that at a time I should have been accepting it. Like, I was actually one of those guys. I had to learn. And then I found myself out of the league for a year, and then I had to, realize, like, hey, nah, Perk. Getting minutes is past you. Get your ass on the bench and be a good team guy. Show up, work hard, a practice guy. You know what I'm saying? If you got to be a certain player at practice, you be that. You know what I'm saying? You be an extension of the coach. If coach needs you to get on somebody's ass, damn it, you do it. But I actually had to go through a year of finding out the hard way with my ass back at the crib, depressed, because I didn't want to accept that role, because I was playing behind Amir Seek and Alexa Jensen. I thought I should have been playing in front of them.
Those are some names.
Yeah, but Carmelo found himself at home for a year. Carmelo found him a year. But I'm saying it's like, and again, it's just more of like, whether it's Perk, whether it's myself, whether it's Carmelo, whether it's Russell, whether it's Chris Paul, it's still accepting a different role than what you've been accustomed to over the course of your career. Is it harder for people of Hall of Fame greatness? Yes, right? That's one of the reasons, with all due respect, Grant Hill was that dude. He was about to be the face of the NBA. He gets injured and he becomes still a good player, but he becomes a role player. But his energy, it was always positive. He accepted a lesser role.
Best.
That's what I'm saying. He accepted a lesser role. Derrick Rose, part of the reason why Derrick Rose's career lasted as long as it did is like, yeah, he wasn't the MVP anymore, but he accepted as a backup or a third PG and just being a good dude in the locker room. T-Lue came to me when David Black got fired. T-Lue takes over. He comes to me because I had been a part of the rotation for the most part. He comes to me and says, hey, Rich, I'm going to play the young fellas, right? I'm going to play the young fellas because Shump had just got healthy. Kyrie had just got healthy. Like, hey, I'm going to give these guys some extended minutes. Not Kyrie, but more Shump in that bench role. So it's like, hey, we're going to go this way, but stay ready. And so there's about 10 games where I probably got 2 or 3 DMPs or 2 or 3, 8-10 minutes. And then slowly but surely, I got back into the rotation. I say that to say he clearly communicated to me that I was going to be out the rotation, but stay ready. So when he talks about, hey, he had a clear conversation with CP before the season, I've been in that seat. And so he's like, hey, this is what it is. Right? We're bringing you on. We don't necessarily need you, but you are a Clipper. You are a Hall of Famer. We want you to end your career here. So, but this is what the role is going to be.
Your ability to or inability to accept is the difference between finishing your retirement tour that you just announced and being sent home. It could be as simple as that. Really quick before we wrap this up and move on to more breaking news, do you guys believe that Chris Paul will be on another team this season, or is that how his retirement tour comes to an end?
Man, wrap that shit up.
I think we'll see CP3 in the studio soon.
Please,
okay.
just
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying.
I don't want him to go out that way. I don't want him to go.
I don't see him in the studio somewhere.
Yeah. I'm guys. All kidding aside, I'm not saying studio. If CP3 wanted to be he could do whatever. Like he probably could get another job if he wanted to walk away on his own terms.
In New Orleans?
We don't know.
I don't know. Okay. I'm just communicating that if CP3 doesn't want that to be his last experience.
Maybe we could have him here in the Road Trippin studios.
Go home. It's 20 years. Go home.
Maybe we could have him here
Brady,
inside.
Go home.
Wow. Channing.